Hello and welcome to How to Write Every Single Day with me. Hi, I'm Lauren Marie Fleming and I'm so excited to have you here. Today you are going to learn who I am and why that I personally think that daily writing is a very important and totally reachable goal that you should put into your goal lists. I'm going to teach you the 5 simple steps to making writing a daily habit, something that you can make into a ritual of your daily life. And then I'm going to show you where to find help if you, after this course, are still struggling with writing regularly. There's lots of support out there, and I'm going to show you how. So there's bonus content at the end, so be sure to stick around. So here's some tips for getting the most out of this course, because I don't know about you, but I have signed up for courses online and just paid for them or gotten them free and done nothing with them, or they haven't really stuck. I watched them, but I didn't do anything. So here's some tips for getting the most out of this course and making sure that the time and energy that you put into it is worth it. 1, take notes and do the action items. I'm going to give you some simple acts to do. They're going to be really easy, so there's no excuse not to do them. So grab your journal, a piece of paper, your computer, your phone, whatever it is, and do the work that I outline in here and take notes on anything that resonates with you. Invite a friend. You are more likely to follow through if you have a buddy. Your friends can join at laurenmariefleming.com/writemore. This is a free course, so there's no reason not to get all of your friends to sign up for it and join you along with the journey. Having that accountability, having that buddy can really make a difference. So invite a friend along. And then ask questions. If you need support, email me your questions at courses@laurenmariefleming.com. I'm available there to help answer any questions that you have. So, who am I? Hi, I'm Lauren. I just wanted to flip this around so you could see the person who's on the other side of the course. And so we could interact a little bit and I could say hello, you could get a face. And I just wanted to say that I'm really excited that you're here. I made the dedication to write every single day at the beginning of 2019, and it completely changed my life. I'd been somebody who wrote my whole life. I've been journaling since I was a little kid. I've been writing professionally for pay since 2006, but it wasn't until I dedicated myself to writing every single day that I started seeing these just immense changes in my life. It helped me with my health. I journaled what was hurting my stomach, and I figured out food allergies. It helped me with my finances. I used journaling as a way to budget. It helped me emotionally. It helped me fulfill myself and feel better about everything about my body and my life. And it has just completely changed my life. So I'm so excited to be here and share these 5 steps that I developed to help me to write every single day. And I know that you can write every single day, whether you're going to be journaling or whether you're going to be just social media posting or blog posting or working on a novel, whatever you decide to do, I know that you can. I thought it was impossible when I first started, and now I am. Years later, and I've been writing almost every single day, and I did it every single day in 2019, but I made a dedication to write starting in 2016, and so it slowly built up to this. So if daily feels too much for you, that's okay. This is all about creating rituals, creating habits, and I'm so excited to get started with you. So let's flip this back around and start the course, and thanks for coming. Here's a little bit about why I'm here. First off, I am obsessed with the power of storytelling to change the world, to change lives. I think that the stories that we tell ourselves and the stories we tell other people are really powerful. They can be healing. They can be connecting. I really believe in their ability to change the world. And on top of that, I am extremely dedicated to helping writers ditch that starving artist cliche and thrive personally and financially. I don't think you need to suffer for your art. I think that we can be writers that are both happy and financially secure. So that is why I'm here. This is why I teach courses. That's why I do what I do. I've also done this because I have been journaling since I was a teen. I have probably even earlier than that. My earliest memory is of me writing my feelings down. So I've been journaling my whole life, but I've been really journaling through my feelings since I was a preteen suffering from depression. It's helped me a lot through my life. And I've been writing professionally, which I consider for pay, since around 2006. I've written multiple books of varying genres. I've written hundreds of magazine articles, thousands of blog posts, and one collection of really bad poetry that I wrote when I was in about 3rd grade. I've spoken all over the world at major conferences and colleges on kind of the left brain aspects, the logistical aspects of what it means to be a creative writer. I have a law degree, so I bring some of that into what I do, and that business side of me, the entrepreneurial side, into a lot of what I do, mixed with the kind of the right brain creative that I am as a writer. And I believe that a cup of tea can fix any problem. So if you ever do coaching with me, or if you ever come to one of my retreats, or you meet me face to face, I'm almost always drinking a cup of tea, sitting down over a cup of tea and saying, what's the problem and how can we fix it? And I pull up my journal, I pull up my pen, and I pull up my cup of tea. So I highly encourage you to grab a cup of tea and join me as we learn more about how to write daily. So before we get into the steps to writing, I thought I'd define what writing is, because I think people put too much prestige into it. We think of writing as like Shakespeare. We make it fancy and then we don't do it. But if you make it simple, you will do it. So writing is simply, the noun of writing is letters or characters that serve as visible signs of ideas, words, or symbols. And the verb is the act or art of forming visible letters or characters. So that means that writing can include social media posts. Writing can include notes you take from a class or a course or a lecture or at work. Writing is sitting in a coffee shop with your cup of tea and your journal. Writing is texting your friends a thoughtful thought, something long. Texting is writing. We write more now than we ever did before because we're texting so much and social media so much. Writing can be list building, goal setting, and writing can even just be doodling, getting your ideas out in any form you can. That is writing. So now that we know what writing is, here are my 5 simple steps to creating a daily writing ritual. I want to know that it's easy to accomplish, and I want to think of this as, if daily feels too much for you, creating a habit, a ritual. A ritual is something almost sacred, something that you wouldn't like let someone take you out of. So whatever it is to you, maybe it's daily, maybe it's weekly, maybe it's even monthly, but whatever it is that you can do consistency, that's what we're trying to do here. Create a daily ritual or a writing ritual or the habit of writing. So step 1 is know your why. The most important thing you can do is know your why. Know why you're doing something. I can't tell you your why, only you can. So I can't tell you the reasons behind writing, but I can tell you that the benefits of journaling have been proven over time and time again throughout history. Here are some reasons why I've heard people or myself write. Writing's a meditation. Writing daily sounds cool. These are real ones that people have told me. Like, it just sounds cool that I wrote every day. That's awesome. If that gets you writing, I'm down for it. I want to practice my craft. I think that writing every day makes me a better writer when I go to write other things that I do professionally. It's cheaper than therapy. When I die, I want to say I was a prolific writer. I dream of being a published author. It's stress relief. Journaling releases serotonin. It's part of a spiritual practice. It's part of that ritual I was talking about earlier. And then I loved this reaction that I got from somebody, which was, what else am I going to do with this journal I got for my birthday? So here are some reasons why. If those didn't help you, here are some powerful whys that help me to really push myself to creating space in my life for journaling. 1, you are 42% more likely to accomplish your goal if you write it down. That is from a well-known established study. You can check out Marie Forleo's website if you want to learn more about that, or Start With Why by Simon Sinek, the book. Both of those go into these studies that they show that you're 42% more likely to make a goal happen if you write it down. I don't know about you, but I'm a big dreamer, so I've got some big goals, and so I like to write them down and hope that 42% will come my way with some of these bigger ones. Journaling has been proven to be as effective as meditation at reducing stress and raising beneficial hormones like serotonin. I'm not really good at just like sitting there and doing nothing. So journaling has been my way of meditating without having to actually like try to clear my mind or sit there still forever, which I'm not good at. So this is my version of meditation. And then almost all the most accomplished people in history kept journals. So, if it was good enough for Benjamin Franklin and Shakespeare and Marie Curie, it's good enough for me. So once you have your why, step 2 is know your when. When is a time in your life that you can consistently clear for writing? It doesn't matter your schedule. Trust me, I currently have a salaried job that is more than full-time. That takes me all around the world doing these like long hour events that are sometimes 20 hours work days. I live with my sister and my 2 nieces. I help raise them. I have a dog. I have this side business or this full-time business on top of my full-time job. I have so much going on, and yet I still find time to write. So if I can find time to write, this is the most busy I've ever been in my life. 2019 was the busiest year of my life by far, and that was the year that I wrote every single day. So if I can find time, you can find time. How I do it is I do it as soon as I wake up. I just literally roll over, grab my pen and paper, and just kind of write. It's almost nice to me because it means I don't have to get out of bed for like a good half hour. So if you're somebody who doesn't want to get out of bed in the morning, this is a great way to not do it, just like I've been doing it. The key is consistency. So whatever works for you, it can be during your commute on the subway. It can be right before bed. It can be on your lunch break. I've done that before. It can be right after work. It can be just 15 minutes during your breakfast or your morning coffee. Whatever works for you, know that and make sure that it's something consistent. So some tips is I want you to think of that time, and then I want you to take out your calendar right now and schedule it. Right this second, like press pause on this and schedule it. The goal is to do it daily, but the reality is that you might need to start with weekly. I started this dedication to journaling in 2016, and it was not a daily thing. It was probably like 3 times a week that I was able to do it. If that works for you, great, but you need to schedule it in. And I would highly suggest putting calendar alerts. So it reminds you to do that, and then block it out. So people know, you know, not to mess with that time. That's your writing time. And whatever you can do consistently for at least a month will become a habit. So this is something that you just want to try to do consistently to start. It's daily, preferably weekly at the absolute minimum. Remember to include where you're going to do it, you know, what you're going to do and where. So, you know, you might be going to a coffee shop, or you might be doing it on your lunch break out on the chair outside of your office, or you might be rolling over in bed and doing it there. Including where will help, or a specific coffee shop maybe like that you like to go to. Where is one less thing that you have to think about when you go to do it. So include where and schedule it. And then tell the people in your life that you're going to be writing daily. Let them know on social media. I told everybody who's ever met me that I write every single day. So if I don't write, they give me crap. I have work colleagues that are like, yeah, I know we just worked a 20-hour day, but you brag that you write every day. So did you write today? No, go write before you go to sleep. That literally has happened to me. So I highly suggest telling everybody in your life, posting it on social media, and better yet, get them to join this course. It's a free course, so they can join in and they can understand what you're trying to do, and they can join in with you and be accountable. And they can join that at laurenmariefleming.com/write more. So after you know your when, let's talk about your what. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every single day, so he had one less decision to make. One less decision means one less excuse to procrastinate. So when you block out in your calendar when you're going to write, and you write down where you're going to write, also write down what you're going to write. Maybe you're going to do morning pages, which is 3 pages in your journal of free-flowing thoughts in the morning. Maybe you're going to work on the first draft of your novel. Maybe you're going to do financial planning. That's a form of journaling. Maybe you're going to set some goals down. That 42% more likely to come true if you write it down. Heck yeah. Maybe it's a blog post. Maybe you're going to write an article for the New York Times Modern Love section, which always is accepting submissions, by the way. Maybe you're just going to start a gratitude list before you go to bed, 5 things you're grateful for. Maybe it's a meal plan and grocery list, whatever it is. And this might change a lot. So don't overthink it. But whatever it is, write it down, put it in your calendar so you know ahead of time that decision's made, so you don't have to spend the whole time that you have blocked out trying to think of what to write. So here's some tips for choosing your what, because I know that can feel overwhelming. 1, don't overthink it. You can change it. It doesn't have to be for every day. Maybe on Mondays it's one thing, Tuesdays it's another. Maybe you get halfway through and you want to mix it up. Be flexible, mix it up, include your what into your calendar, and tell your friends what your what is going to be so you can get some support and accountability. For example, I decided the month of December I was going to work on a novel. So I announced it all over social media. I announced it to all of my friends. I told everybody in my life, this is what I was working on at this time. So when I got up in the morning and I went to go write, I didn't have to think, oh, what am I going to write today? I knew it's December. I have declared to everybody in the world that this is what I'm going to write. So once you have your what down, I want you to know your how. Step 4. So how covers a few things. So it's literally, how are you going to write? Is it going to be pen and paper? Is it going to be your computer? Is it going to be the notes app on your phone? Is it going to be writing on your wall? That is literally a way that I've written before. I've plotted out on a wall. Whatever it's going to be, literally, how are you going to write? Pen and paper, pencil and paper, computer. But it's also, how are you going to create space in your life to write? So maybe it's taking a day off every quarter off of your day job, off your desk job to work on your novel. Maybe it's carving out Sunday mornings for journaling. Maybe it's going to bed half an hour early so you can wake up half an hour later and journal every morning, or even an hour. Whatever it is, like, how are you going to carve out space in your life for writing? So here's some tips for your how. 1, Wi-Fi is never your friend. If you're going to carve out space in your life, turn off your Wi-Fi. Turn off your phone, social media, all that stuff. That is the biggest way to create a how. Think about all the time that you spend on Instagram or Facebook. And maybe you're somebody who doesn't scroll through social media. If so, good on you. I'm proud of you. But what are the TV shows you're watching? What are the things that you do that aren't conscious? What is the zoning out that you do? In that time, that's a carving out time. That's how you could carve out. So think of ways in which you're needing to carve out time, how much time you want, and the ways in which you could use this time that you already are using for something else to write. But Wi-Fi, turning it off, social media, turning it off, those are the 2 things that I see help the most people the most. If you're ever able to handwrite, it's more beneficial than typing. And I understand, with accessibility issues, some people might not be able to do that. But if you can handwrite in a journal, studies have shown, lots and lots of studies have shown that hardwires your brain in some weird way that we don't fully understand, even more than typing. It gets it into your memory. So that 42% goal setting, handwrite it. If you want to figure out your novel, handwriting. I mean, if you're going to be working on your first draft, that's probably not the thing to handwrite. But if you can handwrite, I highly, highly suggest it because there's so many benefits to handwriting. Changing your locale is great. I know that if I want to work on a novel, I'm going to do a much better job in a coffee shop with no one around than in my house with my dog and my sister and my nieces that I all live with, kind of crowding my space. But also, so is simply sitting up in bed. If I had to get up and go to a coffee shop in the morning, I wouldn't get journaling done every day. So think of how you can create space in your life for that particular act. And when you're deciding your where, think about what you're working on and how that can benefit from either staying in the place you are right now so you don't have to move, so you can be time conscious, or changing a different locale and maybe, spending a little bit of money on some lunch in a restaurant or some coffee in a coffee house so you can actually have a better situation, better space for writing. I keep a notebook and pen with me at all times, but I also use my notes app. I think that, while I just said how important handwriting is, it's also great to think about I can take notes at any time because my phone is on me at any time. I will be working in the middle of an event and I will write out an idea for my novel that just happens to come to me. So using the resources that are around you can help you write every day. And yes, jotting down an idea for a novel in the middle of work counts as writing. I want everything to count as writing here because we're setting us up to win. So that's how I make sure that I write every day is I just have a notebook or I use my notes app and I jot down ideas and that counts as writing. So you can count that as writing if I count it as writing. And include your how in the calendar and tell your friends about your how, where you're going to go, what you're going to write with, what you're going to do, what you're going to work on. All of that information, knowing that ahead of time sets you up for success when you show up. And then step 5, last but not least, know your who. Who is also twofolds. It's 1, who needs to know that you're going to be busy at that time so they don't interrupt you. Maybe that's your family, maybe that's your spouse, maybe that's your children, maybe that's your colleagues, whatever it is. Who needs to know that you're going to be busy so they don't try to get a hold of you? Or if they do try to get a hold of you, you're not worrying the whole time that somebody's going to be needing you. They know where you are. And then also, who will help hold you accountable to getting the writing done? So this is twofold. It's writing accountability and just accountability to the people in your life. So maybe it's it's your coworker in the cubicle next to you. You're like, hey, I'm going to pop out for my lunch break and write out there. If anyone's looking for me, that's where I am. I'm turning off my Slack. I'm turning off my email. Maybe it's your therapist. Hey, I'm going to be working through this really intense thing. And so I'm going to be using writing and can I bring it to our next session? Or a writing coach. I'm trying to reach this goal of, writing a book in this amount of time. And here's what I'm going to do. And maybe it's your boss even. I've talked to my boss hey, I wake up every morning and I write. My boss knows that I write every day. And so my boss brings it up in conversations. Oh, hey, how's your writing coming along? And I really don't want to disappoint my boss if I don't have any writing that I've been doing recently. You can ask, you can tell me, you can declare to me, find me on Instagram and tell me what your what you're going to be writing. Join my writer squad. Tell your social media friends and followers, like whoever it is in your life, declare it to them. But also let the people know that need to know that you're going to be, taking 15 minutes for yourself, or half an hour or an hour for yourself at this time. So here are some tips for choosing your who. And this is specifically for accountability. I want you to choose someone who will make you more accountable, not less. So don't pick someone who will show up and distract you from actually writing. In fact, once I had this friend who was like, yeah, I'm going to write every day with you. Yes. And she showed up to our first library session to write without anything. She just had like her purse, and she just sat there and talked the whole time. So I had to fire her. I had to say, hey, you need to leave. This is not what we planned. If you want to be social, I'll go get a drink with you in an hour after I have finished my writing. But right now, this is writing. I had to kick her out of my writing space. It was not comfortable, but she understood, because I was here looking for more accountability, not less. So make it someone who's not too chatty. As a chatty person myself, I'm not always the best writing partner, but when I'm dedicated, I'm dedicated. Don't be afraid to fire your buddy like I had to. Virtual friends are great for this. I have a whole writer squad, and you can join our writer squad. I have a group of people that hold each other accountable to writing. I tell my social media friends. I have friends that I check on how their books are coming. They check on how my book's coming along. I ask them about their journaling. They ask me about my journaling. It works really well. Virtual friends are absolutely fabulous for this. So if you don't have any writers near you, that's great. You can that's fine. You can join a writers group. There's so many things out there virtually now, but don't use getting online as an excuse not to write. Only do it after you've written. And then again, I'm just going to keep saying it, having someone take this course with you, that's accountability. They know why you're doing this. I don't know if you've ever been through school, but somebody who's in the class with you understands your project better than somebody who's not in your class. So this is your class. Think of this as high school. Somebody who's going to help you through Romeo and Juliet is going to be better with somebody who's actually in your class and knows what your teacher wants. So have them take this free course. Again, it's at laurenmariefleming.com/write more. My goal is just to get more people writing. And so if you and your friends are writing, that is amazing, and you guys can support each other. So I highly suggest bringing somebody along for the ride. Okay, so those are the 5 steps. Let's go over them again. Number 1 is why. Why does creating a writing ritual matter to you? I mean, I could sit here and tell you all day long why you should, but really, why does it matter to you? 2 is when. When is a time in your life you can consistently clear out for writing? Number 3 is what? What are you going to write? Plan it ahead of time so you know, and when you get there, you can just get started writing. Number 4 is how. How are you going to write? Have all of your materials ready. Know the situation that you're going to go into. Know where you're going to do it. Know everything about how you're going to write. Create that space ahead of time. 5, who are you going to get to support you in creating your writing ritual? So that's both accountability buddies, and also who are you going to tell in your life that you're doing this so they can give you the space that you need to write. Okay, let's talk about bonuses. And first off, the best bonus is this photo of The Rock saving 2 puppies from drowning. It's my favorite story. Google it when you get a chance after you've written today, but it's a great story. So I like to include it here as a bonus. So check your email for bonuses that I'm going to be sending you. Sent your way over the next couple of weeks as part of this free course. I'm going to just keep helping you with more tips and more tools to continue to write along, and a little bit of accountability on the way. So check your email for that. Browse laurenmariefleming.com for more tips and tools. I've got a lot of information on there, and a lot of mini courses, free courses, paid courses. I have writing retreats coming up. So there's lots of tips and tools there that can help hold you accountable and get you to write. And then if you want to go deeper into the art of journaling, I have a course called Journal Through It, from oh shit to I've got this in 30 minutes. And that's at journalthroughitcourse.com. So don't worry, I've got you like The Rock has these puppies. Okay, so that's towards the end of the class. Today you've learned who I am and why I think daily writing is an important and totally reachable goal. You got the 5 simple steps to making writing a daily habit, and I gave you some information on where to find help, laurenmariefleming.com or my journaling course if you're still struggling with writing regularly. So that's it. That is how to write every single day. Those steps are super simple. I hope that you already calendared out times that you're going to write, what you're going to write, where you're going to write, when you're going to write. And if you have any questions or comments, or you'd like to give me feedback on this course, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at courses@laurenmariefleming.com. And don't forget to keep an eye out for bonuses coming to your inbox. So thank you again for taking this course. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time writing every single day and building that writing ritual of yours.